Welcome, everybody, to this weekend edition of your friendly neighborhood watch, episode 22. And we're going to blow your socks off, people, because in this one, we're going to treat you to not the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but the massacre that came after the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And with me here tonight, as always, the one and only Dr. Vankman.
Hello, everybody. Are you ready for this? I'm not.
It's going to be crazy.
Can we ever?
It's going to be crazy. And because it's going to be so crazy, we drug along with us the one, the only, Vito Corleone.
Thanks for having me back, guys.
We love it. You are spoiling us here. Yeah. 3 episodes in a row.
I know.
This is freaking great.
You guys are spoiling me.
Yes.
Oh, we're having fun, man. It's great to have you back.
How do we start on this?
How do we start? So we finished it about 10 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we were all dying of laughter for about 2 hours straight. It really is that good. You can't.
It's yeah.
To give it the good level is just it's futile, because this movie,
Jesus,
it's a wrecking show.
It's a complete 180 from the original.
Oh yeah, yeah. You got it. You totally have your finger on it. For how awesome for the reasons why the first one is so good.
Yeah.
This is the reason. The second one is. They're all different reasons, right?
It's like the first one was like your senior graduation party.
Yeah.
That your mom and dad planned for and spent tons of money on.
Right.
And they invited all the guests and everything's perfect.
Yeah.
And then you have the after party.
Yes.
Which is part 2, where it's like kids are just getting drunk and they're on drugs and they're naked and they're throwing stuff and everything's broken and covered with vomit.
Yep.
But it's awesome.
But it's awesome in its own way.
And it's nearly unbelievable.
In its own way, yeah.
When you think back onto the moment, you're like, I can't believe that happened. That's this movie.
Yeah.
This movie. Oh, my goodness.
It's a parody of the first one. I mean.
Oh, it is. In a great many ways,
yes.
It's a parody. Yeah, it is. But then in another way, it's kind of like just how over the top can we do it, right? Like, let's go over the top instead of having the first one, which is it's terrifying in a very gritty, dark, very grimy sort of way.
And it's very controlled, actually, too.
Yes.
Like the whole film is really like tightly
very true
crafted.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Where this one, Don Vito Corleone and me were just talking about this. Like, it's just like, he's just like, let's party.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think
no doubt.
I think Tobe Hooper was like, I can't top the first one.
Yeah.
Let's just go crazy.
Yeah. And so maybe like this too. He's like, okay, let's look what George Lucas and Spielberg are doing. Right? They're just throwing millions upon millions of dollars, and it's over the top party time, which he was part of in the first Poltergeist. Right?
Yeah.
This is freaking 4 years after Poltergeist.
Yeah.
And I think Tobe Hooper is kind of like, hey man, that's how we're going to do this film.
Yep.
And because the gritty part is gone, right? I mean, the everything's far cleaner.
Yes.
The lighting is totally diffherent.
Although the radio station was pretty gritty.
That's
inside.
True. That's true.
Yeah. That carpet on the walls.
It was filthy.
And the
that's
filthy
true.
Grease
That's
stains
true.
everywhere.
Oh, did you love the tribute to the first movie with the sliding door, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Inside the studio, right?
Yeah.
That was like
That was cool.
she locks herself in that time.
I thought that was so weird
totally
to be in like
throwback.
a record radio station.
Yeah, it's
but I
kinda
love
like the radio station is in an old ice house or something, right?
Right.
Because she has those ice tongs too.
That's
right.
Right,
That's
that she's
right.
gonna defend herself with, and she's gonna
right.
like, oh, when she locks herself in, yeah.
But that radio station was far nastier
Yes.
than the actual
Right.
hideout
Right.
of the family.
That place. I mean, that place was like total insanity. Yeah.
It's pretty. I mean, so this movie really is. It's like, what would you say? Maybe 20 minutes of build up before you get there, right?
Yeah,
Isn't it 20
A good
minutes or
little
so?
chunk. Yeah. Yep.
You get to see outside for a little bit. You get to see Dennis Hopper.
Yes.
And it's kind of funny because it's been a long time since I've seen this.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, it's kind of like watching it for the first time, really. And and I was like, oh yeah, Dennis Hopper, yeah. Oh yeah, he's going to investigate this. It's going to be a little bit of like a mystery. How do you find the killers? Nope.
No. Right. But they set you up to think that.
Set you up.
They so do.
And it's got that kind of classic like TV trope thing too, where it's like he's gonna rope the young disc jockey along with him, and together they're gonna solve the mystery.
Right.
You know? Right. No. It doesn't go that way.
Oh gosh, dude. Yeah, he's gonna use her for bait. But before that, the scene when he goes to buy the chainsaws is brilliant.
Yes.
It's totally
that
brilliant.
Is a great
right?
scene.
He just lays out a few $1,000 on the table, starts picking his chainsaws.
Doesn't say a thing.
Doesn't say anything. The old guy goes, "Hey, you want to try those out first?"
The old guy is just as creepy though. When he's just hacking that tree out.
He's just laughing and
I think
wigging out.
I think the feeling that I get is that you can just walk around anywhere in Texas and you'll just find somebody like that, and you can just be like, "Can you be in the movie for a little bit?" "Oh, sure, I'll do it."
Yep.
And then they just do something as you usually would do, and then I'll film that.
Yeah, that wasn't even an actor. That was just a real guy at a real chainsaw store in Texas.
Because he was just like
that was just really him.
Oh man,
he was just loving that Dennis Hopper chopping that wood up.
He even too, when he's on the phone and that guy calls him and he's like, "Would you quit calling me?" God damn it, you're on everyone, aren't you?
It's like they,
somebody he knows, and he's like, "Quit fucking with me over here." You know, it's just the whole setup is perfect, man. Yeah, man. And then hacking the tree up. That thing was so Deliverance, man. Mm-hmm. So I just could totally see the banjo scene in Deliverance. You know, yes. And then you see the two, you know, like the uncle and the brothers are back there. They all start getting their jam on.
Except for it's just one old man.
And then, but it's just the one old dude, right? But he's totally getting his jam on.
He was just loving it. Yeah. Yeah, and also the hotel as well.
Yes, the Tobe Hooper.
The Tobe Hooper cameo. Yeah. Yep. And the whole chili cook-off thing was great with the Mr. Furley suit on and everything.
Oh gosh.
And the chili stains on his
yes,
jacket.
and the tooth in the sample chili, right? It's just a peppercorn gag. It's so disturbing.
Yeah.
And yet it works so perfect. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, totally Mr. Farley, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that was like swinging 10 years late to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Drayton, right? Drayton Sawyer, I think is the character's name. He had some of the best lines.
Oh, he does. He does. Yeah. The only actor to come back from the first movie.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Which was great.
He was great.
Yeah.
So I was kind of worried at not having seen the first one in a while.
Yeah.
But oh man.
Yeah.
This
not.
You don't even need to.
Really. I really don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Complete 180.
Right. Oh man, Choptop too. To Bill Moseley's credit, I mean, this was really the movie that kind of put him on the map. As being just a horror icon, and for great reason. As Choptop, he's over the freaking top. Like
such a weirdo.
Yeah.
The scene when he gets introduced.
Oh yeah, that's right.
With the Bono wig on.
Oh gosh, dude. And the thing is, he had pretty big shoes to fill. I think that was probably the. All three of those, or all four of the family characters are so iconic in the first one that you kind of have to do, not so much the dad, because it's the same actor, right? So he gets to step right in, but you've got three new actors as Grandpa, Choptop, and Leatherface.
Yeah.
They've all got to, do justice to the first film, and I kind of think Bill Moseley's character is...
better.
It's almost better, right? And that's hard to say, because the dude in the first one is a creepy asshole.
Yeah.
He's weird.
Yeah.
But this one, it's upped.
Yeah.
It's totally up.
Right.
The whole thing with the plate in his head and the
and the lighting the thing on fire and scratching at it and eating
the
chunks off
scabs or skin.
Eating the skin.
Yeah, Bill Moseley definitely made it his own.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Which is great.
It's funny like you said when his introduction is. I mean, that is such a cool scene because he's sitting there in the dark.
He's just already down there. Yeah, right.
And she's so freaked out.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. And so although we get to see, we kind of get the early glimpse at Leatherface, right? And so I guess we're assuming that Choptop is driving the truck. That's what I
think they're the ones who go out and do all this stuff.
Yeah. So he's whatever the Muppet thing is, because later he's got it.
Yeah.
He's got the Muppet, the body,
the zombie suit,
the
or
body
whatever.
suit thing. Yeah, that is so freaking weird. Only in the 80s could somebody think that up, right? A dead body sewn to a suit that you wear and use as a Muppet.
And Leatherface is underneath it.
And
That's how we're
Leatherface is
introduced
underneath it
to
the first
him.
time, right? Yeah.
The first 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah,
There's
that
those
whole
guys on the phone. And
gosh, dude, the
Those
cell
guys-
phones in this are awesome.
Those guys were also really weird.
Yes. Yeah. And it's funny too because that's one of the really great times of, hey, we're gonna introduce 2 people who get killed, and you're stoked that they get killed,
Yeah.
because these guys are freaking yahoos.
they're complete shit stains.
Yes. Yeah.
They're just
So
you know. Yeah, I mean, there's just nothing likable about either one of those characters. And,
Oh man, the guy's glasses.
Yeah. But then it was weird though because they're calling the radio station.
Yes.
And then the radio station's like, we can't do anything until they hang up. That's how phones
so
worked
ridiculous.
in the 80s.
Yeah, that was weird. So
were
these
really-
guys call into the radio station to like just annoy
Yes.
her
Yeah.
essentially,
I guess so.
as they're like then dying
Yes.
by Leatherface, and like the radio station just can't hang up the phone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That one guy in the other room's like, I'm trying
Yeah.
to hang up.
I'm doing everything I can here.
All right.
We gotta get
Pretty
him to
sure
hang
you
up.
just hang the phone up. That's all you do, right? They're like, you're tying the lines up. Wouldn't you rather hang it up and have the lines tied up and just wait?
I don't know radio, but
Then-
if that was a thing,
yeah.
please somebody say something in the.
I think this may be like a weak point of the story because
Yeah,
I
it was.
I feel
It
like
was,
I
yeah.
feel like they needed to get that recording of them
That's exactly
of them
what
being
happened.
murdered somehow.
Yeah.
And so they started with that and then they
Right.
just tried to
You're
do whatever
absolutely-
they could
gotta
to
be.
get that thing to
Yep.
work. But
Yep.
but if you really think about it, like somebody needed to step into that story meeting and say, why do we need a recording of them being killed?
Right.
Can
Why
we do
couldn't
something
just
else?
the people hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
it's
just
live.
can we have a witness maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Or have her. It could have been just this. She says, "Okay, I'm going to take live call-ins."
Yeah.
Right. And then that happens live on the air, and then the guy can be like, "Oh, the switch broke. I don't know how to get us off the air or something."
And that's
right?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they had to really push this recording thing.
Yes, because he needed
somebody.
the tape.
Somebody in the meeting was just like, "Hey, what if they couldn't hang up the phone?"
Right. That's what
That makes perfect sense.
that is what happened.
It's
They
radio,
need to
right?
hang it up because it's a car phone.
Nobody knows how that works. Yeah.
Because car phones don't even exist yet.
Right.
But everyone has it.
But everyone has it.
Yes.
What's that Eddie Murphy movie with Steve Martin where he's got the big phone? Remember that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I forget. You know what I'm talking
Big
about?
Trouble in Little China.
No, it's like
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's not Norbert, but it's like it was around that era.
Yes. Yep.
Anyways,
Yes.
I digress.
Yep.
Yeah. But so everything is set up to really have that big start in the radio station.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. When Leatherface, that's because I think that's really his. He has the reveal in the car chase, but his reveal is really when. Yeah, he's like, and here's my brother.
That was great. And then he ruins his wig.
Yes. He bounces it right off that Choptop's head, right?
Right off that metal dome.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, my plate. He keeps saying my plate. He fucked up my plate.
Dr. K just about flew out of his chair when that scene happened because it was
Hilarious.
I mean,
it was
just
so
the fact
funny.
they even put a freaking flashbang sparks were coming off of his head. I mean, that's genius.
It is.
It's really genius. Yeah.
And then poor disc jockey girl.
Oh,
She just has to scream from that moment on till the end of the movie
until the end,
sustain that level and not lower
And
at all. So
it was over the top.
oh, she just she's just constantly screaming. That's the rest of the movie, really. Is her just screaming.
Yep.
And we were joking about it because she really she plays a good victim. She doesn't. She makes it easy for them to do their job.
Yep.
To terrorize her.
Yes.
She's not trying to run away, really.
Right.
She's sitting there,
fight back.
Yeah, she's sitting there spread eagled over the ice chest full of soda cans.
The beer chest.
Right.
Yep. Oh man, the sexual innuendo is just. I mean, they're like, okay, so sexual innuendo is going on right now. Let's put that on to from instead of 10, we'll make it 25. Yeah.
And it went on so long.
Gosh, dude.
It wasn't just like a quick scene that
No,
people
he's
forget.
poking her in the cooter with the dang chainsaw.
I'm like, I'm sitting there watching this. I'm like, this is so awkward, and it just keeps going.
Yeah.
Going.
Yeah. And she's like trying to talk sexy to him so he won't kill her. Yeah. I mean, it's dude.
You said it right, Venkman. She plays like the victim perfectly. Like she
Yeah.
doesn't try to fight back. Doesn't hardly ever try to run.
Right.
She's just like just keeps backing up into the corner.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
Even when they get her at the lair, though, she's just like when they go to tie her up, she's just like, "Oh, here's my hands."
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like,
Please don't tie me up.
Oh, that scene. We got to talk about that, man.
Which
That,
one?
so right then, so they get the guy that's helping her at the station, right?
LG.
That LG, yes.
Yep.
When he gets all his skin cut off, and then he sits up and he's alive, and she's wearing his face and hat, and they're staring at each other. Fucking brilliant.
The makeup is so good on him.
Both of their makeups, right?
Yes.
Her wearing his face,
Yeah.
and him being all cut to meat.
Just
Dude,
insane.
that storyboard when they're like, "Oh, this is gonna be great. This is like him looking back at himself, sort of thing." Oh, it's so like I was almost dumbfounded.
Yeah.
Again, watching it, you're just like, "This is so over the top."
This is
And
crazy.
then when he has the knife and he's trying to cut her free,
Oh.
and he's all like,
he's like trying to stab
freaking
her.
out. It looks like he's about to stab her.
Yeah,
It's like, what's going on?
right. Right, and then he just sits down and dies.
Man, it took him a long time to die though. If you go
did.
back
It
to when
did.
they're hitting
Oh,
him
dude,
with the
when
hammer,
they're bashing
And
his
then
head in, yeah.
getting
it
his
just
skin off.
kept going, kept going.
Yep.
And he's flopping around on there, and
Yep.
Choptop just keeps hitting him, and
Yep. Just like Grandpa showed me.
and he was spitting a lot too. That was kind of cool.
Yeah,
I was like,
Even
that
when
was
he-
his gimmick, right?
even when he was
Spit on the
dying.
floor, yeah.
he sits up and he's like,
Yep. That effect totally reminded me of Nightbreed, the guy who
Yeah.
cuts his face off.
Oh, yeah.
With the thumb razors.
yeah.
Oh.
I was getting
really
some
was
yeah.
kind of I think Nightbreed took
serious-
a feather out of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2's hat
really
with that.
did.
Yeah. They kind of one upped it a little bit because that guy does it to himself, right? With his little thumb hooks. Pulls his own
Yeah,
face
it was
off.
so Clive Barker.
That whole
whole scene was Clive Barker.
Just like Life Force, I mean, the practical effects and set design here were like just
Yeah.
amazing.
Just amazing.
Yeah. I'd say they were more gratuitously used in this too.
Yeah.
Dude, when freaking Leatherface gets it in his belly, that's great, dude.
And then he keeps fighting.
And then they keep fighting. They go. It's not. It starts. They each have one chainsaw, but then Tobe Hooper, Dennis Hopper's chainsaw gets stuck in Leatherface, right? And Leatherface is holding his chainsaw. So Tobe Hooper pulls 2 more chainsaws, and they're fighting with 4 chainsaws.
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper. Thank you. Hopper and Hooper, man. I'm going to butcher that this whole episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're fighting with 4 chainsaws, one of which is stuck in the body cavity of Big Fat Belly.
But let's not like
So
Dennis
good.
Hopper at one point is dual wielding chainsaws,
Yes.
fighting like
To the bitter end
like
when he gets
it
fragged
is
by
so over the top.
effing Charlie, the grenade.
I mean, I think and when he was if we go back to him shopping for those chainsaws and he's like whipping them around in the store, you know, I think Tobe Hooper saw that, and he was just like, oh, okay, let's just, whatever script I had before, like let's just toss it.
Yeah.
I want to see more of Dennis Hopper.
Yes.
Just whirling
Well, from that
chainsaws
point
around.
on, that's all he does, right?
Yeah.
From the time that he gets the chainsaws,
That's all he does.
It's over, right?
He
Because
becomes crazy.
he's
That's
already
his
gone.
character.
He's totally crazed.
Which,
Yeah.
by the way, one of you guys mentioned it first. I mean, Dennis Hopper really channeled his inner Nicolas Cage.
really did.
big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
That was right on the money. Whoever said that.
Yeah, I was thinking it was
I'll
Dr.
take
K.
credit. I'll
Yeah.
take credit. Yeah. 'Cause I was thinking, man, this is what if Nick Cage played this part? I think is what I said, right?
Yeah.
And then it was
Yeah,
like, well, yeah,
that's right.
that's what Dennis Hopper is doing. Is
Well, if you
Nick
think
Cage
about it, though, I just thought of this right now.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Mandy is, though, really.
yeah, exactly. With the chainsaw fight. Yeah, there's 2 chainsaws. Yeah.
Like
Yep.
that Cosmatos. Is that the director's name of Mandy?
Cosmatos.
Cosmatos.
Yeah. Cosmatos. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's. I'm sure he saw.
Yes.
TCM
Oh yeah.
too,
Yeah.
and he was like-
Yeah. Yep. He's like, okay, look.
Yeah.
I can one up that.
Yep.
Yes. We'll make the chainsaw 7 feet long. Yeah.
The only problem, though, I feel like is because it's the Texas Chainsaw family, right? You really only have those. You have Leatherface, Choptop, and the dad, the cook.
The cook. Yep. And then Grandpa.
Yeah. But Grandpa really can't do much.
No.
I mean, he used a hammer.
Yeah. So
he's got the dinner table scene, right? I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah. But I mean, you
have
have Dennis Hopper with 3 chainsaws.
Yes.
and there's only 3 people to fight. You know.
Right.
It's like, so they're just like, well, just have him chop down all the struts.
Yeah.
And the supports here.
As he's like chanting biblical verses.
Yes.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
Oh, it is pretty funny that he gets the cook right up his ass, though, right? Yeah, he's like running away and
took care of my hams.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, gotta go with the doctor now.
And then he pulls the what do you call the grenade?
Yeah, the fuck you, Charlie.
Fuck you, Charlie. He pulls it out of the dead corpse
of a body
at the table. That was great.
Where's that fuck you, Charlie?
Yeah, he's like, come here, dudes, or whatever.
Era, little lingo there, right? Because it's a hand grenade. Yeah.
I do love the fact that they're essentially fighting in what we kind of thought was like an abandoned theme park. Called Texas Battleland.
Yes. So apparently there was Texas Battleland that they wanted to turn into Vietnam
Nomland.
Yes.
Nomland. It's what the people want.
Yeah. Oh gosh, dude. It's so crazy.
Yeah. Well, and for the Primus fans, I know all the Primus fans know this, but people
they all do. Yes.
Dog will hunt.
Yep. If you didn't know, you know now.
Yeah.
That's where Jerry Rose, the race car driver, got it.
It's pretty fun to see that line.
Yep. Yeah, there's 2 fantastic. In Jerry Was a Race Car Driver, there's that quote, which obviously is from this movie, and then there's, since we already talked about Deliverance, that's got the Deliverance quote too, where it goes, "Where you going, city boy?"
Yeah.
That's when they're all driving down to launch into the lake, and freaking what's his name, Burt Reynolds drives down into those trees and goes the wrong way, and as the other car with the guy just going the other way, that's what he yells out the window. "Where you going, city boy?"
City boy.
So old Les Claypool's got his finger on good movie magic.
He knows.
Those are 2 good ones.
Yep. Man. Yeah, that abandoned theme park though, that was something else. That
cool set design.
Such a cool set design.
They really just, like you guys said, threw money
at
people to just like take their imagination.
Those sets were incredible. Yeah.
You know, I always like a set like that where it's so huge that it even feels huger in the movie. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Like,
dude, when you're doing those pullback shots and you see how big it actually is.
Because there's that scene where she gets into like what you assume is like the basement of it.
Right.
Yeah. And she's running just down that
it
long
just
hallway.
goes on forever.
Forever.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It's like this massive complex thing, right?
Yeah. It really gets your imagination going because it's like how much more is in there that they're not even showing us.
Right.
You know?
Or was cut out of the film, maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean that's pretty awesome.
Yep. Props to having the gumption to do it, right? So, I mean, I can only imagine on some films the producer's like, we'll cut here, this is how we'll frame everything out. We want to, we're going to give the illusion that it's big.
Yeah.
But this was like, no, we're going to do big pull-out shots, and it's going to be giant and ridiculous. And we can get away with it because everything is so cruddy. Like, man, hell, half of that stuff might have actually been stuff holding the setup, right? And they're like, you won't know. Carpenters just build some crap in there and throw some wires on it.
No kidding.
Don't tell Hopper. Just let him go to town. As he chainsaws all the structure beams.
He brings Gamora down.
Yeah. I think the only weak thing there though is that so Dennis Hopper has been trying to find these guys for 13 or 14 years. Never once went to the huge abandoned theme park out there.
Yeah.
Or to any of the freaking chili contests, which apparently are huge. I guess maybe there's too many.
Maybe there's.
He would have been overwhelmed.
Yeah.
None of us are from Texas. Maybe there's just like chili contests everywhere.
There probably is.
Maybe.
Could be.
I mean, Texas is a big state.
That's
for sure. And they did say in the beginning he came from like Dallas or something, right? Or
he went to Dallas.
He's from
because it was originally in southeast.
Yeah, that's
or
right.
something.
That's right.
Yeah, there was some reason.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't think they ever mentioned in this movie though that he was looking for Franklin until.
Well, a little bit. The one cop, right?
Yeah.
okay.
He said to him like, "Yeah, I know you've been trying to find the killers of your sister's kids or something."
Gotcha.
That's it.
Okay.
Yep.
But we're gonna send you back, and He's like, I'd like to see you try to flex that authority. Or
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was. I think I always took for granted in the first one that they must have found everybody who got killed. Yeah. But in this, they give the illusion, especially having Franklin right there, that nobody, that girl gets away, and then apparently they just all moved, right? Yeah. They all haul ass and get out of there, and probably take all the bodies and everything with them.
Well,
in that entry in the beginning when they're saying, no one believes that there was a Texas Chainsaw Massacre because they couldn't find a house. Yeah. And they couldn't find any bodies.
That's weird too, right? They couldn't find the house?
Wait a minute. Yeah, how can you not find a house?
Because they took it apart and made Texas Battleland.
Yeah, right.
They were fast.
Duh. Yeah. What was I thinking? Yeah. You can't just get a helicopter and be like, there's the house, dummy.
Yeah, that was weird.
I mean, she ran out of the house to the road where that guy in the pickup truck gets her. Yeah. It can't be that hard.
But maybe the guy in the pickup truck just kept driving for 6 hours or something.
and forgot. He just didn't know where they were.
What house?
Oh, well, I don't know.
It's back that way.
It's too big.
Yeah.
Now, remember there was that semi. We left that semi parked there, and the poor semi driver was just running for his life. Oh, that first one works on so many levels.
It really does. Yeah. But I do think you're right, Mr. Corleone, that they don't mention Franklin by name though in the beginning. So that when he's like, "Oh, Franklin," like I even had to ask Dr. K. I was like, "Is that the same guy?" And he's like, "Yeah." So I think that could have been a little bit more clear. I think that,
right. You're definitely taking for granted that the audience has seen the first one. Yeah. With that, without explaining it better.
They could have mentioned it in that Star Wars text at the beginning too, just a quick blurb.
Yeah. Or had him reminisce.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe he's sitting there drinking when what's her name, the DJ shows up and they're talking then, and then he explains. You know, that would have been one way to do it too. Yeah. But I think they're just taking. Or it got edited out. I mean, that's always a possibility. They're like, too slow, too boring.
We need more time inside of the Texas Battleland.
Yeah.
We've slowed this movie down for
enough
this 30 seconds.
Character development.
Yes.
We don't need to make Dennis Hopper likable.
Which that is the better decision, right?
I think it is. Yeah.
Which I do love the fact that when the grenade goes off, we don't see anything.
No, you just see him stand on the table like,
We just assume then that everyone except for Choptop and the girl, Vanita, I think her name is.
Yes, that sounds right.
Oh, it's Vanita.
She's like
Vanita
Stretch.
Oh, Stretch. Yeah.
Stretch.
Yes.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah. So those are the only two left.
Which makes sense because in the third one, it does and it doesn't. Because in the third one, so Leatherface has to have been killed. He got run the fuck through. So even if the grenade didn't kill him, he had a chainsaw hanging out of him. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But then when you get to the third one, you have Leatherface, and then you've got his brother, who's Viggo Mortensen. And they just kind of, from the third one on, they're just kind of reinventing. This is the idea.
The fourth one's the one with Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey.
Which, that one is so
it's so weird when you watch that one.
Yes.
And you're like, these people have won Oscars.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're so bad in that movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. His freaking cyborg leg. It's ridiculous.
I got to see this.
Oh, dude.
With the remote.
With the remote.
He's got a remote.
Remember, and it keeps glitching, and he has to his whole gimmick is that he bangs he punches his own leg, his cyborg leg, because it'll be out of control, and he's walking all herky jerky. Yeah, it's got a remote.
It's such a weird one.
Gosh, dude.
Man. Incredible.
Yeah. But it seems like the first two work as a group, just like the rebooted one, the 2007 one, and the beginning, which is its sequel, but it's the prequel. Those two work together fantastic too. Yeah. The two with Arlie Ermy.
Yeah.
As the cook, although he's not a cook in it, he's a cop, which makes it even more terrible. Yeah. In a way, that one's more frightening, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
And then there's the beautiful finale to this movie.
Yes, it really is.
It is.
So, I mean, what do you guys think? I know what I think, but what do you guys think the end tells us about what's her
Vanita?
Yes.
I mean, anyone that touches a chainsaw in this movie turns crazy because she did too at the end.
Right.
Like dancing and spinning around as she's
crazed, right? I mean, that's Yeah.
She's the new
Leatherface.
She's the new Leatherface.
I mean, she technically wore a face already in the movie.
And that's what I mean. There's foreshadowing. I think that's a foreshadow.
Yeah.
Right? Because even though that's horrible when it happens, then when you see her at the end spinning around, that was foreshadowing that she's,
she's lost it.
Yeah. Yeah. And by no fault of her own, she gets sucked into the madness.
Yeah.
But, and there's kind of the idea too that the chainsaw she has was Grandma's chainsaw.
That's right.
And it gets passed to her
Grandma's
when she
dead
takes
body.
it, and
Yep.
Choptop freaks out. Ah, you killed her. Like, what?
I love how she's trying to start the chainsaw
Yeah.
and she's just letting him stab her.
He slaps her with that.
And she
razor.
keeps trying to start it.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. She's getting all
To her credit,
chopped
okay.
up.
So how about the stunt when he falls out down
was-
that freaking thing?
Oh, that was great. I don't
It
know.
was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't
was
know who
great.
the stuntman was for that, but that was
Dude,
great.
He should have won something for that one
That looked
stunt.
like a pretty nasty fall.
Holy
let alone
crap.
then he continues to roll into
Yeah, and then he falls in that tube.
the
I
slide
know.
tube. Yeah.
That was like watching a beautiful golf shot or something.
Oh, it
you know?
was.
It's like there's no way. And
It's
then
a hole in one.
Yeah.
Right.
He made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the way he starts falling, you're
Yeah.
like, there's no way he's gonna get in that
No,
tube.
you think he's gonna fall off to the other
Yeah.
side, right? He's
He goes right down in it,
oh,
just
man,
like a glove.
dude.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I would love to see outtakes of just them setting up and shooting that, right? And the guy's like, there's probably a priest there giving him his like last rites.
You know what they should do?
Okay, ready, go.
Man, you know they should just go somewhere to Texas and build the Texas Battleland
Yes.
Theme park.
and
Yeah.
theme park.
Dude.
And just have horror conventions
yeah,
there every
and
year.
right.
Within
Can you
the
imagine
park,
that?
Within the park have Nomland.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
I
Even
mean,
better.
just make that
Dude,
thing,
seriously.
and like they could have like conventions in there
Yep.
every year, and people
Yep.
would
Texas
just flock.
chainsaw stuff.
It
Yeah.
would. Oh yeah.
Man,
yeah.
I'd
yeah,
go.
Yeah.
I'd go for
have
sure.
movie screenings in there and stuff.
Yep. You could do Dallas Comic Con.
Yeah.
Would be there.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah.
everything's got there's bones everywhere,
Yep.
and like
Oh man.
little skulls with
Yeah.
bone wings. Those were awesome.
Yeah.
That chandelier was
Yeah.
great, wasn't it?
Have-
yeah. The
have-
Valkyrie hands.
Get somebody like Guar to open up there.
Yeah.
Like they'd fit right in.
Yes.
But then you can have rides too, because it's like a theme park.
Oh man.
So
totally.
like you can actually do that stunt where you fall into the tube at the end, like you can actually jump and try to land in there, you know?
And then it like puts you into the basement.
Yes. Yeah. You come out where all the guts came out of the wall when Dennis Hopper kicked the
oh,
wall and
man.
the guts come out.
People
you come
would
out of that
pay
chute.
through the roof. We better start this, you guys. Let's do it. Let's buy some land in Texas.
Yes.
We'd have to find a spot for the gift store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We're going to Patreon, listeners.
Yeah.
Get ready. Get
Yeah.
ready to back us.
No kidding. Man.
Or
All we got to do is go to freaking Elijah Wood. You know?
there we go.
You know,
right.
you notice that how like
Yeah.
Elijah Wood has been producing a lot of horror movies
Heck
and stuff
yeah.
now?
Heck
yeah.
yeah.
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's made some good decisions too. Like
Yeah.
I think actually Mandy was one of his. wasn't
Yes,
it? Yeah.
it was. You're right. You're absolutely
And there was
right.
something else too recently.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea.
And so we just go to Elijah Wood and say, "Hey,
Yes. Here's what we want to do.
can you help us build Texas Battleland?"
Maybe he'll hear this and be like, "I was thinking this all. along.
Yeah.
Let me get these guys over."
Let me take my paycheck from what was that dolphin movie he was in? We're gonna look that
Flipper,
up right now.
1996. It looks like.
Flipper.
Yep, 1996. 32% Rotten Tomatoes.
32. Oh, winner.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, you guys. I mean, this is another one of those two, I think, where the sequel is at least just as good as the first one. Don't you think?
In a
And that's
different
really
way.
Oh
rare.
yeah, in a different way, but
Yeah.
absolutely.
It
Yeah.
kind of reminds
Oh,
me of like
absolutely,
Alien
I
and
think that.
Aliens.
Yeah,
right?
Alien
Yes,
and Aliens.
exactly.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
dude.
Two different genres, both good in their genre.
Corleone.
Yep.
Yes,
Kinda hard
you're
to-
absolutely right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Kind of hard
Yep.
to compare though.
Right. That's the kicker. Yeah. Yep.
Definitely.
They're from the same world, but they're two totally
different
movies.
flavors.
And you love them for different reasons.
Yes.
I mean
Yeah.
that's kind of the best part.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like pizza and ice cream,
yeah. Right.
right? It's like,
You can't compare them. They
There's
feel
no right answer.
but they kind of go together. But but you definitely have to eat one first before that. You know, it's yeah. You know, if the food analogies with Texas Chainsaw Massacre can just keep going and going because
Yes. Yep.
because that is one thing for me at least. For as funny and as enjoyable and entertaining as this one is, it is also just foul too.
Oh man,
like, there's
really?
some just real
on
gross
so many
parts.
levels. And look, people, we're gluttons.
We love the
we
effects.
are gluttons for it.
Yeah.
And there are times in that movie where I was like shaking my head, like, oh, dude, they got their finger on the nasty.
Yeah, this is nasty.
It's like really a little bit disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There was that scene where Dennis Hopper like cuts open that thing and all that like all those guts just pouring out.
Yeah. That whatever that was, the mosaic that was on the wall, which was holding back all of the offal and guts. Yeah.
So somebody's just like storing all that leftover guts back there.
Right. That when the guy's getting, we already kind of talked about it, when the guy's getting his skin cut off, that's disturbing.
Yeah,
that whole
it
thing.
really is.
I mean, you don't quite see, he's not all the way in frame, but you see that he's just getting hacked up with the electric freaking. Those are like those old electric turkey cutters that they had back in the 80s, right? Yeah, and he's just flaying him as the girl's just watching in like total horror.
Yeah. I mean, talk about a really that's a really well done scene from a horror movie because they're not showing you everything.
That's right.
And
that's right.
Your mind is
that's
just
Hitchcock,
going,
man.
right?
Yes, that's right. And they force you to they force you to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you just see him like pulling the pieces off and putting them on a hook, right?
Yeah.
Pull the piece off, put it on a hook. Or his face, and he's looking through it. Yeah. And he's like, oh, here, let me stick it on your face, right? And it just goes from disturbing to like.
And then they start dancing.
Yes. That's so great. Oh, poor Leatherface was in love.
Yeah.
Oh man. Or what about him jacking off with the freaking chainsaw? Oh gosh, dude. Yeah, back to, I mean, we didn't even get to that part of the first time when they meet, right? Yeah, he's got the chainsaw sticking out like his boner while he's rubbing one off, looking at her, and she's just like totally freaked out.
Yep.
And then he goes to that to like pull, he's pulling on the freaking the throttle then when he's like, I can't hold it back. Oh, so much going on.
So much innuendo.
Oh gosh.
The music.
Yeah, Tobe Hooper and somebody else, right?
And I like all the poppy songs they put in there.
Yeah, dude. Oh, you got the Oingo Boingo. The second, that was good ear. Yep.
It's funny because the first movie really almost is barren of music.
Yeah, that's right.
So I feel like
almost
Tobe
more just
was
sound
kind of like,
design. Yep.
Like,
right.
Let's put a lot of music in this.
Agreed.
I mean, they even have a radio station in the movie.
Right.
So
right.
He's just like,
I
want music.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing that only ever sticks out to me about the first one is the sound of the flash bulbs going off. Right? They keep using that to kind of like grind you to bits. That.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's totally minimalistic, and this was like way more. Yeah, let's get some rock in there. And...
Get Tobe on the Yamaha keyboard.
Yes.
Those were funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
What else?
Just going through the records.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Humble
Bill Moseley.
pie.
Yes. You play the Iron Butterfly. You know that song, Integratid
I do wish he would have kept that Bono Bono wig longer though.
I kind of liked it when they cut it and he like started wearing it as a scarf. I wish he would have had it more as that then as well.
You should have tied it like an ascot or something, right? Had it in the front. Yeah.
Oh, my scar or my wig.
My Bono wig.
Yeah, my Bono wig.
He didn't call it a Bono wig. Yeah. Yep.
You are right though, Dr. K. He really does make that role into an icon.
Oh,
in
he
this
does.
One, right? Because I was thinking about that too when he was like talking to her and coming up closer with that little hook and everything.
Yeah, gosh, right.
And just the way he talks and he moves and everything, I was just like. I was like, this is like another like Freddy almost. You know? Like,
right.
Like Freddy has all of his kind of character things down, you know. And
I
was like, this is another kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
Where you could just, I could picture a whole movie just with him as the main villain.
Oh yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Yeah. And again, a twist on it, right? Because in the first one, that character who isn't Bill Moseley, it's the other guy whose name I'm gaping on, but the original dude who did it. It's scary, but he in a totally different way, right? He's like the unhinged hippie weirdo,
right?
That like, and then because they pick him up and he's a hitchhiker, right? It's kind of like the ultimate mistake. You would don't ever pick up crazed hippie freaking hitchhikers.
He's a definite like type. Like you see him starting to talk, and you're like, okay, I've seen this guy before.
Yes, right.
Where Moseley.
Right.
He's something different.
Oh, dude, he's totally just a horror movie villain. Yeah.
As soon as you see him,
Yeah.
you don't have to hear him talk. Just
Right.
look wise alone.
Yeah.
Right. He looks almost undead.
Yeah.
And then once
And
his
those
wig
teeth.
gets his nasty teeth.
Yeah.
And his wig gets knocked off. You're
Yeah.
like, oh crap,
Yeah.
man. My plate. He keeps saying my plate. Oh.
Lick my plate, you dog dick.
Yeah.
That was a great insult.
Oh man. Some of the best lines came from him.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
It really did.
Oh man.
What do you think about Grandpa with the hammer scene? Because that was right out of the first one.
That was a total throwback to the first movie.
Did you not love how they were like closing up on his face? And
Oh,
then
dude,
like he's
it's disturbing.
like licking the
Yeah.
hanger that he's
The hanger?
scratching his face with. Oh,
That was nasty.
I almost wanted to gag.
gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Yeah, that though, but that going into the close-up shots and then the pullback shots and the close-up shots, that's really good filmmaking
Yeah.
because he's bad enough in the pullback shot, and then when you do those close-up shots, his makeup is so good.
You're
just
no,
like,
no,
oh no.
I don't want to go any closer to him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just foul, totally foul.
But it worked differently. I felt like in the first one, I mean that scene is really hard to top.
Yes.
You know?
That was more brutal.
It was
and
really brutal and really
yeah.
just like kind of just sickening because
because
it was they're helping him hold on to it and his hand is shaking and stuff. I mean it felt very like too realistic.
Yeah,
almost,
you
right?
got it.
Yeah,
That's it.
As he's trying to hit her.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean
yeah,
the thing's
yeah,
dropping and stuff. Whereas this one was a little bit more.
It's like an homage to the first
Yeah.
one, but it's kind of like we're playing it up.
Yeah,
a
we're
little bit,
playing
right?
it up exactly. It's
yeah.
a little cartoony
Yeah.
almost, but
Yeah.
but still just
It's
like you said, just gross and
Right.
foul. Right. Yeah.
Right.
Here's Grandpa. He's 137 years old. So
I know he was already 100 years old like 14 years ago.
Right.
Jeez, he's something to be said for cannibalism. It just it keeps you healthy.
Yeah.
So
Apparently that's the trick. If you want to live like Grandpa, right?
right.
You never get moved out of your chair.
Oh man, I think one of my favorite lines though from this movie, hands down, was Dennis Hopper busting in with his chainsaws.
Yes.
And he's like, "I'm Lord of the Harvest."
Yeah.
And Drayton's like, "What's that? Some new food?"
Yeah, he thought it was competition.
Yeah.
Some new food truck. What are you? He tries to buy him off, pulls out his wad of money.
Right.
I'll just buy you off.
You part of those chicken shit guys down there? Like,
Yeah, the burrito wagon or whatever it was.
Oh man.
that was great.
Yes. Oh, so good. So
Yeah.
good. So true to character, right? I
Yeah.
mean, that's part of why it works so good.
Yeah.
Is because they don't ever get away from it so much that you're like, oh, that's, that a lot of times is when it fails, when you're like, they wouldn't do that.
Right.
But this, it's like it's getting so ramped up,
Oh.
but they stay within like, okay,
do.
this is kind of what would happen, right?
Yep, yep.
I mean, it's even why you can chainsaw the cook up his ass and it's still okay, right? You're like, that's kind of, that's where this was going,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
The Saws family.
Yeah, another great, and that's a total one-liner too. But it wasn't a Stallone one-liner or an
Yeah.
Arnie one-liner, right? That was
No.
like just terrible, horrifying horror one-liner.
Just
Yeah.
truth.
You could quote nothing but that character.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah, because doesn't he also say, "We were raised in meat"?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You want sex or the saw, boy?
Yeah.
Like it's so.
Oh gosh.
It's so metal.
Yeah, really, it really is. If you ever wondered, people, how heavy metal got to us, it's because the people who invented it were watching this movie.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Really,
Particularly Guar.
Yeah.
Guar. We all will be seeing in 2 weeks. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Poor. I shouldn't say poor. We actually should all congratulate my co-host,
Well.
Peter Venkman here, on whether or not his new job will go through, and
Yeah.
so. But hopefully you won't
Traveling.
leave until after Guar, right?
Yes.
What a good send off if we can go see that
Yes.
before
Oh
you go.
man.
Right.
Yeah. Pure
then
blood
just-
and guts.
Get my blood-soaked ass into the plane seat.
Yes.
and-
Yes.
and
You
fly
won't
off.
wash or anything. You'll just get on the
Right.
plane and be like, okay, so I'm gonna sit next to you for 22 hours here.
Somebody's gonna be like, "Did he just commit a murder?" Like,
you smell like a jizz cannon.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be fun. We saw. So was it last year we went, or was it the year before? Can't remember now. It's been a while.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a while.
It was. It might have been 2 years ago.
Might have been 2 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. It's about time to see Guar again.
That's right. Because they do not disappoint.
No, they don't.
Like all thing horror, they're awesome. Their show is man,
it's something else.
It's a spectacle.
Yeah.
They could be a horror movie monster themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Really.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Yep. That's the name of the game, right?
Yeah.
It's funny. I really do think it kind of goes like Kiss, and then Guar, and then after that, it's all imitation of Kiss or Guar.
Slipknot's
Everybody,
probably imitation for sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
and some of them did it a lot better. I think Slipknot's one that probably did it a lot better than maybe like Ghost or there's so many of them now, right? It's even a subgenre. I think it's called like theatrical metal.
Yeah, I think,
right.
Yeah.
And all that means to me is like how knock Guar off sideways.
Yeah.
Genre like whatever.
Right.
Some of them are good. So like Peelander Z, that's a good one. If you guys have ever seen them,
yeah.
Oh, they're great. They're
like Power Rangers.
They're like Power Rangers. Yeah.
Awesome.
Playing music. Yeah. And they're playing here at Dante's in a couple weeks.
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome.
That is awesome.
There's another one too. There's
the Transformers one.
The Transformers one.
Yeah.
Yes.
What
Cybertronic Spree.
Yeah, Cybertronic Spree.
From Canada, from Toronto.
Yeah.
They are particularly good.
Yeah.
Really good musicians too. I'd put them in the
in the Kiss category.
Yeah. They're really like fantastic.
Yeah.
But anyway, we digressed on music here.
Dr. K, I know
Yes.
you did want to mention
Yes.
Canon Films.
Oh yes, we have to because
We've seen two of them now. In a row.
so we just reviewed two of them, and we did two of the three movies that Tobe Hooper did consecutively, starting with Life Force. Then in the first half of 1986, he did another Canon film, and then he did this Canon film, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. The other Canon horror movie that he did on his trifecta run there was Invaders from Mars, which is kind of more geared towards kids, kind of, but still a horror sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
And we should definitely talk a bit about Canon and Golan Globus a little bit more, just for the sake of, I mean, there's no better time to do it, right?
Yeah.
As well as Tobe Hooper, but
yeah. I mean, I think whenever I think of Canon films, it's just that total over the top energy.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
Everything.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's like almost every one of their movies has some of that quality of just like
right.
cocaine.
Yeah,
you know?
right. And it's the the decade of the 80s. There's so much that you can extrapolate. So let's just say you weren't there. You're somebody who's much younger, and you're like, man, all you stinking Generation Xers are all like, we love the 80s, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But you can look just at Canon films,
Yeah.
right? Pick 20 or 30 of the Canon films made between 1980 and 1989, and they have their finger on whatever that was going on in the 80s.
Yeah.
Right.
Not to mention, they made like almost every Chuck Norris movie.
Yes.
Pretty much every one, right?
Just
All the
reading the
Delta
list here,
Forces, all the...
Delta Force, the
Yep.
Hitman,
Yep.
where'd the other ones go?
Missing in
Invasion
Actions.
USA.
Mission in Actions. Yep.
Missing in Action?
Yep.
Yeah. There's just another
They made Cobra.
Yeah.
Still Cobra.
Sly Stone. They also made Over the Top.
We were
Sly
just talking
Stone.
about that. Yep.
Did they do Tango and
Cyborg.
Cash? I think they did Tango and Cash as well. Did
they?
I think so.
Maybe, yeah.
Cyborg with
Cyborg.
John Bond and Bloodsport actually.
Yes.
And Bloodsport. Yep.
Oh,
This is what we're talking about. We're barely scratching the surface
I know.
here.
Yeah.
We're also not even going to mention all the garbage ones. I mean,
Yeah.
for how many good ones they did, that's the other thing. For how many good ones they did, they had a whole shitload of just like, who gives a crap?
Although, I will say this though, that there was a whole crap load of bad movies made in the 80s
Yeah, absolutely.
that were even worse than what Canon.
Oh,
you know what
without
I mean?
a doubt. Without a doubt.
You know,
Look,
like-
I love Roger
Yeah.
Corman. I
Yeah.
think he's great.
Yeah.
He put out a litany of garbage
yeah.
80s movies,
Yeah.
right? Not
Yeah.
not just 60s and 70s movies. He was going full steam through the 80s. And yeah, a bunch of them are just dang near straight to video.
Yep.
And it's funny, we all joke about straight to video now because now it's straight to cable.
Yeah.
But straight to video was big freaking money starting in about the mid 80s, right? When finally people had VHS and had beta and all of that stuff was going on. Hollywood instantly figured out, like, oh crap, dude, we just make these and sell them. We don't even put them in the theater anymore.
You
know,
don't even have to
and
go
then by
through
the
that
90s, it was out of control. You know, there was so much straight to video.
Oh, Disney does it.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Like, did
God, they still do it.
They still do it.
Yeah. Hallmark. Oh man, dude, they made billions of dollars probably on straight to video, Zoobly Zoo, and freaking Strawberry Shortcake, and there was just so much of it.
And Steven Seagal too.
No, right.
I think the whole,
most of his career,
the whole second half,
the
of
whole
his
second
career
half,
was all straight to video.
Steven Seagal,
the best runner in all of.
Oh man.
Of Hollywood.
Have you seen that, Mr. Corleone? There's okay.
I have not.
After we're done, we'll show you this little clip. That somebody put like a super cut of all of the Steven Seagal running scenes.
Oh,
and he runs like an 11-year-old girl.
Yes. His arms flail.
His arms flail.
Yeah, and he runs straight up, like his spine is made out of a piece of rebar.
Yeah.
So his back is straight and his arms are just flailing around.
It's hilarious. It's just like
no form. Funny too, because for like a martial arts guy, isn't it all about form?
Right. No control over his body when he runs.
He's got no form when he takes off running. Form out. No, gone.
Maybe he knows something we don't.
He's like tripping over things.
Sorry, Mr. Seagal, but it's true.
Oh, don't apologize to him.
Nope.
That guy was like,
he's a jerk.
He was something else.
Yep.
He's the alpha dog.
Yes, right. Oh man, that whole thing, right? Yeah.
Or no, my favorite quote of Steven Seagal, and did I already say this before on that?
I don't know, but say it again because we're on it. Yeah,
Mr. Corleone, you need to hear this too.
Okay.
He's they're at some movie and he's in his trailer and he comes out, and he opens the door and he's holding this big sheaf of papers and he's like, I just read the greatest script I've ever read in my life. And somebody's like, really? Who wrote it? I did.
Wow.
He goes back inside of his trailer.
Wow. What script was this?
I don't know.
Guess the world's not ready for it.
I think it was Under Siege 2.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like he never changed his look. He's still that ponytail or
yeah.
Well, he changed his look by growing several sizes.
Sorry, you're right.
By turning into Orson Welles.
Yep.
But Canon Films, guys.
Canon, yes.
Did they do anything else with Stallone?
With Stallone,
man.
They didn't do the Rambos, did they?
No.
Because Rambo was independent, right?
And it was. I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Yeah. I think Rambo was always
the first one
independent.
was, and then I think on the second one it got picked up by somebody else.
looks like it was just Cobra and Over the Top for Stallone.
Okay. Yeah.
But they did Kickboxer with Van Damme.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good
And they did Masters of the Universe.
Yes, of course. Oh man.
The Enter the Ninja movies too.
The Ninja movies, all of the ninjas. Yeah.
They were all over the ninja stuff.
That's right. And those, God, dude, those are hard to watch.
Yeah.
Those are. I mean, there's bad, and then there's those.
But they have some moments.
They
though.
do. They
do.
absolutely do have moments.
Yeah.
Yes, but those are like good case studies in like how to make garbage. Like what not to do. Where you're like, oh, this is.
Yeah. But I remember loving some of those as a kid though.
Yeah.
Like I think it was Enter the Ninja where they that's where they would do all the little ninja gadgets, That was like the first time I saw that stuff where it's like, Sho Kasugi is like running down the hallway and then he turns around and he throws like all these tacks on the ground and all these bad guys are like tripping and falling on the poison tacks,
Yep.
It's like,
totally Home Alone
ninjas are
with
cool.
ninjas.
Yeah. In the ninja stars and all that stuff.
So Canon made a movie 2010, so not that long, called Machete Maidens.
Oh.
Ooh. I haven't even heard of that.
Yeah, 2010, 88% Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
This can't be real. I thought Canon wasn't making movies anymore.
Man.
Yeah, according to Wikipedia, they They haven't made anything as canon since 1995.
Wonder why that's popping up.
You know which ones are?
1996.
You know which ones are unwatchable? Are the Hercules ones?
Oh,
with Lou
gosh,
Ferrigno.
dude, with Lou Ferrigno, yeah.
Oh, I've never seen those. I
So-
don't know if I should.
Dang,
A little while
pretty
ago,
sad, yeah.
Dr. K lent me
Yes.
the
The
Incredible Hulk
the
stuff.
Incredible Hulk trilogy.
And so I was
made
like,
for
man,
TV.
this
The
is
show,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got to see more Lou Ferrigno
Yeah.
stuff, and I love Conan, so I should watch Hercules.
Yeah.
No, Hercules is not
No.
Conan.
No, dude. You want to see people bungling through movie making, right?
Yeah.
It's like it takes you out. You're like, oh, these
Yeah.
what are these jackasses doing?
Right.
This isn't, man,
It's
dude. There's people far more savvy on YouTube
well,
who know nothing about,
yeah. It really, I mean, it goes to show you that whole thing about when they talk about sci-fi or fantasy,
Yeah.
like world building.
Yes.
And
Right.
how it's like, sometimes that annoys me how people will get like Star Trek-y about like, oh, the physics of this and the, but like it's like shut up,
Yeah.
but at the
Suspension
same
of
time,
disbelief, man. Come
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
but at the
Yeah.
same time, you do need a lot of that if you are going to build an entire world,
Right.
and if you don't do that kind of work at all, then you
Yes.
have Hercules.
That's right.
And it's
That's
just
right.
like, well, they ride horses and they have swords.
Yep.
Okay, that's all you need to know.
Yeah, they got sandals on.
They got sandals on.
It's
But what are the cultures, the language? No.
No. Yeah. Skip
It's
all
kind of like medieval,
that. It's gonna be. People are gonna watch this and they're gonna be like, "Look, it's just like Beastmaster 2.
right?
It's obvious. It's good, just like Beastmaster 2.
The Orb of Oblivion. Oh no, that was part 3.
That's 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Back in time.
Back in
or
time.
Forward in time.
Yeah.
The one where he goes to New York City and he's
Beast.
running around. That
Yeah.
shot where it's Mark Singer
Yeah.
running as Beastmaster in his loincloth with his 2 ferrets through
Central
Times Square.
Park,
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah. Like, oh God.
Yeah, totally
Beastmaster.
Beastmaster.
Yeah.
Beastmaster and Hercules are very similar. But
Yes.
I think Beastmaster wins though because
Yes. Oh yes. Because the first one's good.
yeah. Well, and everybody could speak English, I guess.
Yes. Yes. Right. It's not
Like-
4 different people speaking 4 different languages
Yeah.
overdubbed.
You're right, exactly.
Yeah. Very
Because
talented.
I think the Canon guys did that a lot. They were like,
Oh,
let's,
yeah.
let's do this
Oh,
in
sure.
Italy or let's do this
Way
in,
cheaper.
in Spain.
Yeah. Spain,
And
right?
we'll just make it look like Connecticut.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
So true. Yeah.
And Lou Ferrigno, I mean, I love Lou Ferrigno,
Yeah.
but I always was kind of scratching my head is like, can he speak English?
Right.
I don't know. The
he's
jury's
from
still
New
out.
York. It's just that he's
Yeah.
like
His-
mostly deaf, right?
Oh, and his
Is he?
steroid.
So he's got
yeah.
he's got a total.
Oh,
yeah, he's
yeah.
got his impediment
Yeah,
is
that's
because
true.
of his hearing. Yeah.
Okay, now you make me sound like an asshole,
Yeah.
Dr.
No,
K.
that's
Thank
all right.
you.
You just didn't know. I
Yeah, it's-
educated you.
okay, all right,
My dear
all right.
Mr. Venkman. Yeah.
Well, and I think the
I'm
steroids.
pretty sure he's from New York City.
Well,
yeah.
the steroids too, probably.
That too, right?
You know.
That's not to be underestimated.
The juice.
Yeah. Yep. Look what happened to Arnie.
He became governor.
Yeah,
Became a Terminator.
right.
Yep.
He's still going strong.
Yep. He spontaneously impregnated his housekeeper.
That's never been proven. That kid is not his kid who looks exactly like him.
Exactly like him.
I don't know that kid.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys saw Mortal Kombat.
Mortal
They,
Kombat.
they had
with the
yeah.
Terminator.
They
Yeah.
had the DLC with the Terminator.
Uh-huh.
Looks
Yeah.
just like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's
Absolutely.
so great.
Yeah.
That
That
looks
Yep.
pretty great. Yeah.
I mean, that character is gonna live on forever.
Oh yeah. Oh
That's-
goodness. Yes.
It's invaded everything.
Yeah.
I saw that little gameplay trailer.
Me
and
too. Yeah.
I was like,
Yep.
you know, this may be the best Terminator thing I've seen since
Really?
since Terminator 2.
Dude, I thought the same
Yeah.
thing. I think you sent it to me.
Yeah,
I
I
think
probably
Are you
did,
talking
yeah.
about like
You did.
his fatality?
Just everything.
Oh, just
Oh,
all
just
about
all
it.
of it,
Yeah, the
yeah.
whole thing. The fact that he can do the little portal things.
Yes.
Right? He can teleport like
Yeah.
freaking Scorpion, but he's making those little orbs
Yeah.
to move. Oh, that
I
was
love
brilliant.
the
Yeah.
fatality. He essentially
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
rips their legs off or shoots their legs off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
And then teleports them into the
Into the
future, where the
future.
Terminators kill him.
Yes.
It's like, oh, that's so great.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And then you can just keep walking through fire and burn off all
Yes,
of his
and-
skin, and he needs an
yeah.
endoskeleton. And I mean, it's just
Yeah.
like,
That was great when he's fighting Scorpion, right? Scorpion just burns his skin off, and he's like, "Nah, I don't care." Yeah.
if this game would have came out in 1991,
Yeah.
I guarantee you,
Oh,
I wouldn't
man.
have done anything else.
Yeah.
I would have just kept playing that game
you
until
would have
I died.
mastered it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, where were these ideas
know,
when
right?
we were kids?
Oh, dude.
Jeez.
Well, the problem is that you couldn't back then. Nobody would agree, right? So whoever owns Terminator would never agree with whoever owned Midway to make a video game, because they'd say, "Well, we want all the money because it's the Terminator." Oh, well, no, then we won't make it.
We got to do all the work.
It takes until people, what's it called? It's like the cultural zeitgeist, the folk aspect of it. Now you've got people who can make video games in their spare time, and they're like, well, we'll just do it then.
Yeah. Not to mention you have the people who are our age who grew up and were like always, hey, I want to see a Terminator.
Absolutely right.
Fight Scorpion.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Now they can make it happen.
Yep. If they won't greenlight it, we'll just do it anyway. And make it free.
Yeah, we'll do it anyway. You make it free, or we'll call it the Berminator.
Right. Yeah. Oh, one of my favorites. Have you guys seen that one? It's so it's tournament style fighting, but it's all of the horror movie monsters fighting each other.
What? No.
It's everybody. It's everyone you can think of. It's Pinhead, Freddy, Jason. Leatherface.
This is a game?
Yeah. Yep. And it's totally homebrew, and it's really good. Really, really good.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I know you guys are big horror fans.
Chucky, I think, is in it too.
You know what game you guys would like is? Did you guys ever play the Friday the 13th game?
Oh gosh, the Nintendo one?
No. The newer one where one person plays Jason Voorhees, and everyone else is trying to like run around the camp and collecting things to get in the car and get out.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
And so
It's
you're
like-
just trying to head them off. Yeah.
That's pretty
so
cool.
like you hide from the character who's like the person who's playing Jason.
Yeah.
You try to hide, try to like stun him to run away.
Right. Oh, that's actually pretty fun. No, I played, and you may have too.
The
Mr.
old
Venkman,
one.
the one on Nintendo, which is insane. It sucks, dude.
It was like virtually impossible.
It was, and I've watched guys do playthroughs on it to explain how to do it. And I was like, there's no fucking way that we could have figured that out at that time. When we were 10, 11, 12. There's no way. There is no way. Because it is beatable. The strategy is so ridiculous that the objectives, like what you have to do to make it happen, it's like, you've got to be a 30-year-old to have sat there and meticulously figured everything out, and put in who knows how many hours to like actually figure out how to get it to work and all that. And that was just one of those where you would go rent it from the video rental store, play it one night, and be like, well, that sucked. That was lame.
Never again.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm going to go watch Jason Goes to Hell.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. That reminds me of the first Ninja Turtles game too.
Oh,
that's the
so
same
frustrating,
thing, man.
I spent 1,000 hours on that, Pete. At least
Swimming?
1,000 hours. Never beat it. Could never beat it. The Capcom one,
Ugh.
Yep. Or if you touch the seaweed, it would shock you, and you would get shocked 500 times trying to get through one screen.
Right. It was awful. But it was cool. I mean, it had like such a cool vibe.
It was great. It was great. A lot of it.
So
that was one of
difficult.
those ones that just, or it was Konami. It wasn't Capcom, but it just keep getting harder and harder though, right? They'd be like, okay, how do we make this more difficult? And especially with the platforming, you'd have all these ridiculous jumps where you would fall into stuff. I think that's Ninja Gaiden and
that's why Turtles in Time, the arcade one, that's why that was such a huge hit. I think because everybody was like, this was the game we wanted back then.
That was the co-op.
You're absolutely
one too.
right. Yes. Yep.
Because you just wanted to play the turtles fighting things, but the game they gave you was like this weird strategy, going up underground and sewers and swimming and and you couldn't be all the 4 turtles. You had to find the other turtles. Remember that?
Yeah. Yep.
That was crazy.
Yep. Yeah. Those first 2 arcade ones were just, dude. I shoveled.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how many quarters I shoveled into it, but beat them both.
I will say with VR the way it is,
we're
gonna start seeing some really old horror movies come to life, and you're gonna be living these experiences.
Right.
Imagine running away in VR from Choptop or
I know
or Grandpa.
I know. It is kind of weird to think about that, isn't it? Like that the future will be. I mean, they're going to be looking back at us, laughing at us how we used to watch movies.
Yeah.
Like you just sat there in front of a screen
and watched them. You should be living them.
Yeah. Right. And I mean, it's going to be incredible to think like there will be that time. I think when it'll be like you can just sit in a room like this, put on some goggles and you're inside the movie and like maybe the characters will still talk and there'll still be a story and stuff, but you can actually just be walking around through the scene while you're
not constrained by the camera.
You can go and look at that while they're talking and stuff, and it's going to be bizarre.
Yep.
Go up and like examine the pores on their nose or something,
Get up in Grandpa's face.
Yeah. No.
No.
That would really be horrifying. Yeah.
It'll be like that VR Star Wars at Disneyland where you have the smells, and so you can smell the offal when it comes out of the wall. It'll hit you with the stench, and you'll vomit. And you'll see it all in your VR.
That is a great VR experience, though.
Yeah.
The heat from the lightsabers and whatnot.
Yeah, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre you don't need the smell.
No,
added.
Right.
That's
no smell, please.
If that ever comes to VR,
yeah,
definitely don't need the smell.
Just turn the smell off.
Just the fear alone.
Yep.
Yep. Very Matrix, right? Very much like leaving reality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything else? I know, Mr. Corleone, you made a bullet list. Did we already go through the bullet list? Yeah.
We did, really.
We burned through it.
We're freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We
covered everything.
Most of the topics were things that we kind of, I think, wanted to talk about anyway.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's interesting. We looked it up and we saw that it was what was it, like $4.7 million budget?
Oh yeah.
And then it made $8 million. So that's pretty good. I mean, at the time to be like, we made our money, we doubled our money, basically, right? But it's interesting to think, like, it was a few years until they made Leatherface.
Yeah.
And Tobe Hooper wasn't involved.
Right.
It'd be interesting to know if that was by choice.
Yeah. Oh,
if he was just kind of like, I'm over it, or if they were just like, let's get somebody else.
Yep.
Because like you were saying too, I think it almost feels like part 2 is setting up her as the next. Next Leatherface.
Yeah, totally.
And so it'd be interesting to see like what Tobe Hooper would have done in a part 3.
Yeah.
But we'll never know.
We'll never know. Unfortunately, the master has passed.
Yeah.
As so many good ones have lately, man. Tobe Hooper died just recently. I say recently, but in the last 5 years.
Wes Craven.
And Wes Craven and George Romero,
Yeah.
It's 3 of the greatest. I mean,
tops.
Unquestionably 3 of the greatest. The people that horror owe the most to all kind of died right about the same time.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll see some new
I think there are. I think there are some really good young bloods coming up. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
The next generation.
Dennis Hopper, great. Interesting too. So here's the thing: in any other movie, I would have been like, "That's distracting. Why is he even in it?" But it worked.
Yeah,
it totally worked.
Just like his character, you mean? Or?
Yeah. Because he's almost like the movie wants to go in 2 directions, right? It wants to go in the Dennis Hopper direction, and then it wants to follow what's her name, the DJ,
Stretch. Yeah.
Yep.
Stretch.
Because we really end up kind of following her maybe more once everything starts to pick up.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, and then Dennis Hopper's doing his thing, right? Yeah. And then he kind of goes down berserk lane, right? And he, there's that one when he finally he kind of comes back to reality and he's like, okay, little daughter, whatever he calls her, you better get out of here,
little sister.
Yeah. Little sister.
I think.
Yeah. He has this moment, but He's definitely got into the derangement too, right? I think they're kind of saying something about that, and then she gets infected with it there at the end, right?
Yeah.
But it's almost like if you had taken all of his part out,
yeah,
you'd really be missing the chainsaw fights.
Yes.
But what else?
Yeah, right. There's not much character there. There's not much.
Right.
He's not really like the hero or anything.
Yeah.
Right?
No. But it's good.
It's good.
It's awesome. I mean, his costume alone. That freaking the jacket and the hat.
I know.
I
mean, yeah.
Aesthetically, yeah.
And then when he shows up with all his
straps.
Oh, by the way, his straps. He's got like literally a bandolier.
His ammo bandolier
of chainsaw blades.
Yeah.
That was great.
I
didn't even notice that till one of you guys pointed that out.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like you're totally right, Dr. K. If he wasn't in there, you wouldn't really miss him. But now that you know that he's been in there, if they took him out now, you would be angry because he's so important to it now.
That's right. That's right.
Because he's just such a fun character. But
chainsaw holsters.
Yes. I love that. That's great, isn't it? Yeah.
One chainsaw, not enough.
No.
Two small ones.
Yes.
I can holster.
Yes. Yeah. Love that too, right? Yeah. When the salesman is just sitting there looking at him and he's doing like the little fighting moves, and he's like, oh, what's this all about? Yeah. And then they go outside and he's woohoo. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's just it's upping. They're always trying to kind of up the bizarre level, right?
Yeah.
The kind of weird. Yeah. The weirdness, because man, dude, when it starts apexing, it's
it even starts off pretty weird though with those two guys in the car.
Yes.
The one's wearing like glasses, hologram eyeglasses, and they're just shooting signs.
Yep.
Right away, you're like, what's going on? And then it just continues to snowball from there.
Yep,
that's very true. I mean, it's almost like I guess Stretch is the only one that you feel a little bit of normalcy about,
until the end,
but then you kind of lose her right away though. But once she turns into like the victim, you're just like, well, she's just gonna be screaming now the rest of the movie,
right.
And so like you don't really want to like hang out with her,
Yep.
But then you look around and everybody else is just in freaking Mars. So you can't really follow any character through this, right?
So good.
Just like,
you're absolutely is right. Yeah. There's a lot of moments too. I was kind of sympathetic to Leatherface, right?
Yeah.
He's got some terrifying parts, but then you really see that he's kind of just a buffoon,
Yeah.
And he's got these times where he's not threatening, but he's still totally fucked up, right? So you're like, well, I can't really sympathize with you, but maybe I don't feel so bad. Oh wait, yes I do, right? Because then it's once the chainsaw fires up and he gets back into his rhythm.
Okay, we should talk real quick. I loved his little like chainsaw dance.
Yes.
Oh yes,
that's very important.
Yeah.
Like constantly throughout the whole film, that little what would you call it? It's like the truffle shuffle chainsaw, or
yeah,
so weird.
Yeah. I mean, it's so iconic in the first one, right? That the outgoing scene where he's swinging it around. On the outside there, but then they totally knew it, right? Going into the second one, there was so much like mythos had happened in the 14 years or 12 years between the two.
Time,
and so they had to be totally aware of that, because you're right. They keep going back to the chainsaw dance.
Every scene is in, they
do
it.
Yep.
So good.
Yep, he's getting his groove on. Oh, Leatherface. I think. Have we done this one justice, men?
I think so.
I was trying to think anything else, but we've covered it. Yeah,
Tom Savini.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. We didn't mention Tom Savini again. Master.
Just the makeup effects were just out of control.
Yes. Yep.
Not a single false note in any of the makeup effects. Really.
Right. Yep. Yeah, owned it. I mean, like you talked about world building. It's not the first movie, but everything in this world works perfectly within this world, right? Because it's definitely I think as the movie, because the filmmaking got a lot cleaner, and the color and the lighting, particularly the lighting, right? It's not all shot in the dark. That first one, man, that's all shot in the dark, and so it gets particularly grainy. Just like, woo. This one, they kind of went the other way and were like, oh, it's all gonna be high def. No, it's gonna be lit totally different, right? And to Tom Savini's, to his credit, everything's got his fingerprints all over it. Yeah.
It's so much different than the first one.
Yeah, nothing against 3 and 4, because 3 and 4 are fun to watch, but those first two, I mean, this is like they're Tobe Hooper's credit, I would say, probably.
It's kind of like Jaws. First one's great, second one's good,
right?
3 and 4, you watch them just because they're kind of hot garbage.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly it. Yep.
You're not really watching them for amazing movies they are.
Right. And because we're gluttons for punishment, right? You really like something for a reason. I mean, Star Wars, right? I mean, I don't know how many times I've seen episodes 1, 2, and 3. Enough. They're fucking hot garbage. They're trash.
Yeah.
I mean, you can pick some scenes out that are great.
You can. But but that's exactly what we're saying about.
Are you talking about the prequels?
Yeah. Same thing. You can go and be like, well, this is all necessary to where we're gonna go.
Yeah.
But crap, dude, you could just do a summary. You
Yeah.
could do a 10-minute summary that rifles out all that good stuff and all the rest of that.
But
like,
I want Senate scenes. I want every kid. I remember George Lucas was like, I made these for kids.
Yeah.
Kids really want to see these Senate scenes of like people arguing in the Senate.
Yes, absolutely. But there's this big fish, Peter, and it's called an opie.
Yeah.
They're gonna love that.
That's true.
They're gonna love
That's
this
true.
lizard guy who runs around and talks like a buffoon.
Yep.
Come on.
so scared.
Come on.
Yeah, you're so right though. A 10-minute summary.
Yeah.
10-minute summary.
And then you got
3
it.
movies. But then that's why Force Awakens was so huge though, because it was like we wanted to have that taste again of what Star Wars tasted like.
Yeah.
And this, you gave it
Really?
to us,
Really.
And that's why you keep going to sequels, because you're like, I want to relive that feeling of how good that first one
I
was.
think
Absolutely.
the movie since the original Star Wars.
Yeah.
I know we're off topic.
Yeah,
but
go.
I think
that's what we do.
the movie that really got that old feel for me was Rogue One, and I felt that was super.
Yes.
Like under the radar. Not many people talk about that.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree too. I think it's the most what I wanted
Yeah.
from what I liked the most out of the original trilogy. They they just grabbed that in Rogue One, and made it more. Rogue One too is very like conflict heavy, right? It's a war movie.
Yes. Yep.
Like for Star Wars, for how much we talk about Star Wars,
There's
not a whole lot of war stuff going
Yeah.
on.
No.
Now in Empire there is when they're on Hoth, right? That's all like blowing shit up and freaking big machines,
Trench warfare.
Yeah.
But then it's at the beginning of the movie. It's done.
And then it's done, right? So in Rogue One, it's all like, dude, how we're just gonna be fighting.
So true.
People are gonna be getting killed. It really was. To me, that was the war of Star Wars.
What I liked about it too was that it was a Star Wars movie, and it felt like Star Wars.
Yeah.
And there was none of the Star Wars music themes at all either. It was all new Star Wars music.
Yep.
And I was like, that's really well done. That they can still make it feel like Star Wars, but you're not hearing all those.
Man, totally, because that's one place you'd be totally wary of that, right? You could say, "Oh, this isn't. We're not in Star Wars anymore because this isn't." Yeah.
Yeah, but
they're not leaning on the tropes. Yeah.
It actually, when I remember sitting in the theater watching it, and I was like, I feel like this could easily transfer into like a TV show, like a series. Like Rogue One, I think out of all the movies, feels like there's, you could just easily segment that into episodes,
right.
and just keep that world felt very TV oriented for some reason.
And then the movie ends with like the best Darth Vader scene
without
of
question.
cinema.
Yep. That's right.
Yes.
It's what I had always wanted. You always heard there was so much like hype about why Vader was such a badass, and then it's like, well, when is he such a badass, right? So I always
not
think
when he's
Bespin,
fighting Obi-Wan.
Yeah, right. Absolutely not when he's fighting Obi-Wan. And then in Return of the Jedi, he gets his ass kicked, right? So then I guess it was Empire Strikes Back when they're fighting on the scaffold. He kind of there, he's using the Force big time. He's throwing stuff around. He's breaking the windows. He's kind of in control on that.
It's a decent sword fight.
Yeah.
It's a decent sword fight.
Yeah.
But it's not anything like, whoa.
Right.
Not like
that
the
was
end of
Rogue One, right?
Yeah.
When he comes in kicking ass, whoa, dude.
Yeah. There's an artist, comic book artist named Daniel Warren Johnson, and he made a little mini comic called Old Man Skywalker, and it's just old Luke Skywalker's lightsabering fight with Darth Vader.
Yeah,
and it's awesome.
Oh, great!
It's just like 20 pages of them fighting.
Oh man, excellent.
Yeah, so check that out.
Heck yes.
I think he's selling it somewhere.
Hear that, people? Buy it.
Old Man
buy
Skywalker.
If you like comics, you should definitely go around and look up for one called Cronan. Fucking awesome.
Yes.
And War Bunny. I heard that one's really good.
I heard that's really good too.
Yeah, if you like Vietnam. And,
and bunnies.
And bunnies, or sword fighting,
or Nomland.
In the or Nomland, or go to Nomland
when it opens. Yeah.
And find some teeth there.
Reserve your tickets now.
Don't eat the chili, probably though.
Yeah.
Right.
Bring your own peppercorns.
But yeah, I think Leatherface needs like a Rogue One moment where it gets us back on track of like why we're afraid of him.
Yeah. For sure.
Agreed. I will say the first two remakes are pretty freaking good.
I'm trying to think of the name of the one I saw. I think it's supposed to take place after the first one. was pretty good. Years after, it follows like.
Was it The Beginning?
Texas there's The Beginning, Massacre. Which is beginning. That one is
that one's great.
That one and just the one that's called Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first of the reboots.
Was that Jessica Alba in that?
Yeah.
She was pretty nice looking in that one.
Yeah, those two. The practical effect in those two is freaking top notch. It's ridiculously good, and they come up with some foul ideas in those. We always talk about it, but that camera pulling back from the hole in the chick's head, and then you're seeing Arlie Ermey's character. He's the sheriff in that, but he's the cook, right?
Yeah.
Seeing his face through the hole in her head. Dude, it's gratuitous, but awesome.
A sight to behold.
Yeah.
The one I'm thinking of is Texas Chainsaw 3D. Was actually not that bad.
Oh.
With what's her name? Alexandra Daddario.
Daddario, yeah.
That one wasn't bad.
Yep.
Was it really 3D?
I never saw it in 3D, but it must have been in theaters. I saw it way after theaters.
Yep.
But that one came out 2013.
Yep.
Wow.
That's the most recent one. And the one before that was just called Texas Chainsaw or Chainsaw. Sucked. That one was terrible. Skip that one, people. Don't watch it. It's no good. It was like a reimagining, and oh man, what a waste. Didn't have the family. That part really kind of wrecked it.
I feel like the whole Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing, it's going to be harder and harder to make as we move into the future.
Yeah.
Because I think part of the reason why those films, the original ones, work so well too, is because it was during the 70s and the 80s where people were like, Texas, who knows what's going on there?
Yeah.
Right? It's like such a no man's land. It was like the outback in Australia or something.
Yeah.
Like, who knows? There's all kinds of people living out there, but we have no idea what they're doing, Right. Now it's like we know everything about everything.
Yeah, right.
There's
I'll just Google
everywhere.
Earth it.
Yeah.
I'll look at we'll try to find the house.
But back then it was like, something like this could be going on. Nobody knows.
I think with the first one too, and the other movies they can't really copy this. Like the effect it had was the first one was filmed in a way where like this could happen.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yes.
Something like this could happen. And it was creepy in that regard.
Yep.
And the other ones, they can't really recapture that magic, I guess.
Yeah. Just like we were talking about last episode, that was the brilliant part about in the first one, starting it as a documentary, right? As a mockumentary or a false documentary, right? With John Larroquette's screen debut as the narrator, just as he was the narrator of Life Force. But yeah, it's under the pretense of this really happened and this could happen again, kind of thing. Yeah, you're right.
So
we need something. Well, then that was Blair Witch, right? That's kind of how they did it too. It's like this is the new take on that.
So it's almost like every sequel will just have to take place in the 70s or the 80s or something.
Yeah,
right?
I mean that you could have Rob Zombie doing, I guess. Right. I mean he's kind of got the market on that. His last bunch of movies have all been 70s weird set.
Yeah, that's true.
31.
Could you even make like a Leatherface movie in today's time, like present day movie?
Yeah, I don't know.
How would that even work?
I don't know how it would work
with the internet and everyone's getting like cell phones. Like,
Yeah.
What's to stop like the first character after one of her friends dies? She just calls in and movie over.
Yeah, right.
Cops are there.
Yeah.
But then they would be like, we can't hang up though.
Oh,
she has to hang up.
The lines are jammed.
We don't know where you are.
You'll have to hang up so that we can
send help.
Not talk to you.
Right. Yeah. So that's a good question, actually. What is the new horror then? Like what? Like we can kind of go back and track like what the reason Texas Chainsaw Massacre worked, or what people were afraid of was like that kind of unknown thing of like these weird families out there that are cannibals.
Yeah.
Well, and now it's like what are people scared of now though?
Well, I don't know if they're scared of it, but you can see that horror has been trying to push the idea of like all these like new age internet type movies that are like scary. Like there's all those like they're just horrible out there.
Yeah.
That will give me an example. Like
one of them I remember off the top of my head was like Unfriended. It was
okay, right. Yeah.
All these like weird like Facebook type horror
Yes.
movies and stuff. And
Yes,
that weird genre that
Yep.
seems to be like just getting these movies get pushed out so quick.
Right.
They're all
kind of like Ringu did, or The Ring, which was based on Ringu did in 2001.
But that one was good.
Yeah.
Right?
That one was fantastic.
Ringu is creepy, and the Ring,
both,
and the first Ring.
I thought The Ring was one of the few times when they took the source material and still made another good one afterwards. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
But like Stranger Things, that's kind of a retro thing they're trying to do. But it's not scary, really. You know,
it's more like a
it's more like a sci-fi.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even call it a thriller. It's like a kids on bike kind of.
Yeah, it's like Goonies.
Goonies.
I mean, and Goonies was by no means a horror movie, but it's that kind of like action adventure, but in a horror setting.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yep. But you know what it's going to be? So this is what I think. The horror, you already had your finger on you had the answer when you asked it. People are scared shitless of being cut off.
Yeah.
Right? And so there's going to be a lot, and there already is some of that. But it's like, hey, we're all together and we have safety in communication. Well, you get rid of the communication.
Yeah.
It's just a matter
so you're going to get like these whatever the newest freaking 19-year-olds are. What are you 19-year-olds right now? Gen Q?
Gen Z?
Gen Z? Okay, so you're going to have Gen Zs who their entire lives have been plugged in. They're going to go somewhere and they're going to be totally cut off. And what you're going to find out is that as a social group, they totally deteriorate. Like almost instantaneously without connection.
Right.
And then can be something more like Saw, right? Because, I mean, that's what that whole thing was about, right? We just catch you and then we torture you and you can't communicate with anybody. And maybe that's it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
hostel type stuff.
Hostile, absolutely.
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of we can't use YouTube. Oh God,
we're gonna die.
That's the horror movie. It's just like no service.
Look at those poor people. They can't check their Instagram feed.
I don't even have one bar. I'm gonna die. It's gonna be called Snowflakes All Melt. The horror movie.
Did you see that? She couldn't even upload a selfie once in that whole 24 hours. That poor girl.
She'll never be the same.
PTSD.
FOMO. FOMO 2.
FOMO 3. The beginning.
And when we see these movies, people, we want our royalty.
Yeah, that's right.
You're sitting in on our brainstorming project here. Oh man!
I mean, you can kind of see Hollywood's been trying to like remake all these old movies in hopes of like.
Yeah. But it's more about just how do you scare people, right?
Yeah.
I think that if you've got the precedent there is to creep people out and to scare them. The way that you get there sometimes doesn't even matter as much, right? So long as you can craft. You got to be able to craft something.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before, but I mean, horror is the hardest genre to do well.
That's it. Exactly.
Ride this weird roller coaster of like
emotions and
Yep.
If you're too scary for too long, people just check out to like to like save themselves.
Yep. They
so
do.
You want to pop in there and then quickly back out.
Yep.
It's constant like tease and feint and
right.
make them feel comfortable.
Tension and relief, right? Yep. And then that's why comedy either makes it work so good or it ruins it, right?
Well, and that's also why Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is such an anomaly, I think, because it doesn't follow those rules, but it works. It keeps going, you know? Like you never feel comfortable.
I mean, it's not scary.
No,
but it is uncomfortable. That's the thing. Is like what it does well is it makes you very uncomfortable.
Yeah. And they throttle up too. I really do think that's kind of like it's one. If you want to compare it to a roller coaster, it's one of those where it's like Superman the ride, right? Where it's kind of like, okay, we're gonna go, and then it's full blast. It's just whap. And you start going, and then you're like, whoa!
Yeah. Right.
You don't really let off the throttle, and then you're like, oh, it's over. Oh, crap.
Right.
That was like we were jamming, you know?
Yeah.
Wasn't that whole slow build? Because the thing with the slow build, too, sometimes that can be fantastic. The Exorcist, right? I mean, The Shining. These are much slower cooker type movies that get you in a whole bunch of ways, but it takes a long time, and they're really kind of slowly stinking their claws into you. This is like, oh no, dude, we're gonna go drive off the side of a cliff at 100 miles an hour. Go, and then you're just like, oh shit, we're gonna die.
We're gonna throw you off the side, and you are gonna go through the tube.
You're gonna go,
even though you don't think you will be able to do it.
Nope, you're gonna go right down the shaft.
Yep.
Yeah, just like Choptop.
Yeah. So it's bravo.
Yes,
that's all we can say.
That's right, because it's so freaking good.
Yep.
Check out Bill Moseley, people. That's too. We didn't really give him too many props, but that's going to be my outgoing statement. Check out Bill Moseley. He's in about 1 million horror movies, and he is always freaking great. And he's one of those chameleons too. Like he can play a straight role, he can play a totally effed up role, like in House of a Thousand Corpses, or what was the? He's in like every Rob Zombie movie, I think. But.
Devil's Rejects.
Yep.
Thousand Corpses.
Yep. Halloween.
Texas Chainsaw 3D, actually.
Oh, he is in Texas Chainsaw 3. Yes.
I'll have to rewatch that.
Yep.
He's in Army of Darkness. Oh yeah.
Yes.
He is in Army of Darkness.
He is in Army of Darkness. Yep.
Man, he really is kind
of.
He
really
everywhere.
is.
You weren't kidding.
He's kind of the Renaissance. One of the Renaissance.
He was in the Grindhouse movies. The Planet Terror Death Proof.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Who was he in that?
I'm looking. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember. But see, this is my point. You look at his resume, and it's like, oh shit, dude, this guy's everything. Everything good. Yeah.
I want to see those Grindhouse movies again. It's been a long time.
They're great. We really should review Planet Terror for sure.
Planet Terror
awesome.
Death Proof as well.
Death Proof is great.
It's it's definitely my favorite. But they're both good. Kurt Russell.
I know.
So
he's so excellent in that, isn't he? Yeah.
I feel like we should do a segment where we just talk about both.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh man, we'll do the double feature.
Yeah.
Of the double
Old
feature.
Grindhouse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, really. That's a good idea. Actually.
Fans, if you haven't listened to all of Mr. Venkman and I's 5-minute top fives, I did pick Planet Terror as one of my top 5 zombie movies.
Yes.
It's great.
It is great. And it has Michael Biehn in it too.
And it does. Man, awesome. And Jeff Fahey.
Yes.
And then everybody else, right? Bruce Willis.
Don't forget
Tarantino.
What's his name? Plays Thanos.
Yes, Josh Brolin.
Thank you, Josh Brolin.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Bill Moseley is Dr. Heinrich von Strasser. I'll have to rewatch.
Yes.
Well, we're gonna rewatch it, so I'll have to
to
make sure I pay attention.
Yep.
Nick Frost is in there. He's the baby eater.
The baby eater. Oh God.
That's his title.
And the award goes to the baby eater.
The baby eater. Thank you. I would like to thank all the mothers who provided me with the fetuses for practice for this role.
I mean, I'll wait till we do the Grindhouse episode down the road, but that's so good.
Well, I've been yanking on Dr. K's coattails to do Predator. As well too. I feel like that maybe that's the first one we should do. Yeah.
Yes.
Have you seen that lately?
Not lately. Okay. It's been at least a few years.
Yeah. So me too. So I think that might have to be.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Yeah.
That's right.
Son of a bitch dug in like an Alabama tick. Yep.
We're all gonna die.
That movie is
so many.
That movie's great for one-liners, or just the scene where they go to shake hands and it's just pure muscle.
That's one of the best handshakes in movie history.
Yeah.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
You set us up.
God, that movie's good.
Yeah.
It really is.
I mean, I can't wait. I want to see it again and talk about it.
Although not really a straight horror movie, it's sure shit a monster movie, right? And that's one of those great those lines that you play, because there's lots of monster movies that aren't necessarily horror movies, but you can't have one without the other, because if Texas Chainsaw Massacre isn't a monster movie also, right? I mean, your main character is a freaking guy with a chainsaw. The two are just, they go hand in hand.
But I would say Predator gets its horror cred just from that scene where they're all skinned and hanging there with the flies on them.
Yeah, right.
Just from that scene alone, it's like,
without a doubt.
How he's like picking them off one by one.
Yep. Oh, dude, and you see everybody. Yeah, guys are getting their, freaking when Carl Weathers gets his arm blown off. And then
or Mac's head explodes in the
Mac's
camera.
head blows up in the camera, dude. It's such a great shot. Yeah, such a great.
I
shot.
can't wait to talk about that.
We should definitely do that.
Yeah, I think that should be next. And then we'll do Grindhouse.
Then we'll do Grindhouse.
Yeah.
All right. So people, there you go. Now you know we've let you into our plans.
Yeah, a little sneak peek.
Hopefully you can suffer with us, our 500 wonderful subscribers.
Yes.
Tell all of your friends so that we can get 1,000 subscribers and make some money on this dang channel.
That would be nice.
Otherwise, we'll just never make money, and you'll still
We'll
get
keep
to listen
doing
to
this.
us.
Maybe some days we'll just make our own movies.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
Yes. We will.
Thank you too. You know, I was gonna mention this. Somebody on SoundCloud
Yes.
reposted our Scream Queens episode. We got like over 100 views.
Oh,
just,
nice.
Just on that one,
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
Like, I was like, whoa, what happened?
Right on.
Yeah.
Someone was throwing us a bone.
Yeah.
Thank you, SoundCloud listener,
Yeah.
for throwing us a bone there. Yeah, that's great.
It's pretty good. So,
Maybe it was Jamie Lee Curtis
I
because
think
we
it was.
put her in such high regard.
or it was Ted Raimi.
Or yes,
'Cause
Ted Raimi.
He was your favorite.
I bet it was Ted Raimi. He
Scream
was
Queen.
my favorite. Yes. Yes. As the immortal Henrietta.
Yep. Okay, guys.
Okay. We're running long-winded and out of steam because
Yep.
it's like 4 a.m. So thanks everybody for hanging out with the three of us on behalf of yours truly, your Dr. K, and my wonderful co-hosts here in the room with me.
Me, Peter. Adios, everybody. And
Me, Corleone. Thanks for having me on, guys.
We'll see you next time here at your friendly neighborhood watch.
bye-bye.